What's up, guys? It is December 4th, 2019, and this is episode 28 of Half the Story Podcast. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? We are back. Thanksgiving is over. The turkey is gone. The stuffing has congealed. And the pumpkin pie has ran out. But we are back after a fun-filled holiday break. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and got to spend some time with your family. Let's see. Last time we were here, what was we talking about? We was talking about Thanksgiving. And yeah, what did we do over Thanksgiving? We went to my brother's and I worked. And one thing about working on Thanksgiving, I think this is my first time ever actually working on Thanksgiving. But it's a pretty similar day to most days, I suppose. I felt like people didn't really want to work with me that much in the therapy world with football going on and people being fat and sassy. Their quote, not mine. But yeah, it was interesting working on the holiday, getting that holiday pay, and getting done a little early. Get out so we can hang out with the fam and do that stuff. So yeah, Thanksgiving went cool. Black Friday was a little bit of just a regular day. Got the deals on the wheels and didn't do much shopping. What we do? So there was some sales going on all week and then Cyber Monday. So that's kind of exciting if you're into shopping. This is kind of the first year ever. Wasn't ever, but this was the first year that me and Christy have been together where we have had a little extra money, to play around with. Just because we're dinks, double income, no kids. And so we had a little money to play with during Cyber Monday and stuff like that. So that was cool. Definitely going to have to put that on the calendar for next year because you need to save up for that next time so you don't spend all your money. But yeah, man, it's we got to take advantage of it while we can. While we're young, we're both working and we don't have kids to pay for. So yeah, next year is going to be balling out on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Didn't realize that literally everything in the world was on sale on Monday, but had to stick to a little bit of a budget on Cyber Monday, but got some Christmas shopping done. I'm excited about that. Got a few gifts for the fams and stuff like that, so excited about that. But yeah, next year I'm going to have to definitely save up because it's kind of like, there's a bunch of stuff that I wanted and that we wanted, but we're like, man, we should have saved up for that. So it's kind of going to be a holiday more for us until we have kids, I think. Because then we'll save up all our money and get all the cool shit we want. So, yeah, that passed. Fantasy football playoffs start this week. I lost last week's regular season game by 0.2 points. So that was frustrating. Not that it really would have mattered in the seeding-wise, but always like to win that. But the fantasy football playoffs are this weekend, so I'm excited about that. Hopefully, I'm going to do some damage this weekend and make it to the next round. Get my money back at least. If not, it was a fun year. It'd be nice to have my Sundays back where I'm not worrying about my fantasy football. But it makes the games more interesting. You kind of follow around a little bit on teams you didn't think that you would follow around on. But yeah, so big week coming up with fantasy football, so make sure to tune in next week to see how I did because it's pretty riveting. And I was, the first year I played my first year playing fantasy football was 2 years ago, and I was the champ. So first year first championship, all I know is winning, And last year, I kind of fell out. I think I made it to like the top 5 or 6 or something like that. But this year, I'm in the playoffs, so I'm in the dance, and we'll see what happens. So if you're in fantasy like me, good luck as the playoffs has approached for fantasy football, that is. This weekend, too, this past weekend, we did, Christy had to work Sunday night, but she had Sunday off. And she's been really wanting to get a Christmas tree, like a real, a living Christmas tree that you cut down that you pretty much kill. She wanted to get a living Christmas tree to put in the house. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, first I was like, we should just get like one that you could like fit on like the coffee table, like tiny. But ended up going to like a real tree farm where they give you a bow saw, and you walk around and find the tree that you want, the tree of your dreams, and you get that tree, and then you gotta cut it down yourself. So they don't even do the work for you, but that's actually kind of part of the thrill, is cutting a tree down. But I grew up cutting a lot of trees down because we used to build forts and stuff in my neighborhood. So it wasn't that exciting to me. And I like bow saws, but Christy never used a bow saw. So your boy had to get it started for her, get that first notch in there. And then she took the tree down. We found our perfect tree. Well, kind of. Christy wanted a bigger tree, but don't they all? But yeah, no, we found a good tree. Christy cut it down with the bow saw, and we did like that whole thing where you pay for the tree and you take it home. What was that? It's either a wolf howling or Walter. But we got a real tree, and I think it's a grand. It's like a grand fir or something like that. I'm not sure, but it smells good. It's about 4 feet high, 4 or 5 maybe, with a stand, and smells good. Not giving away those trees either. So if you want to go out and cut your own tree, they bring your wallet. So, but I didn't know that Oregon. I don't know if this is true, but Christy told me that it was the #1 state for Christmas trees in the country. Which kind of makes sense because there's lots of places to get Christmas trees here. So, I definitely didn't think I would like. I didn't think I wouldn't like, but I was like not that like hyped up about getting a real tree. But once we got it, I was kind of hyped up about it because it did like feel a little homey, and like it didn't bring Christmas joy. But it made our place feel a little more like home if you have a Christmas tree and stuff in that. So shout out to Christy for pushing me and her to get a real Christmas tree, because it makes a real difference in your holiday spirit and your just feeling of hominess, especially being away from home during the holidays. You need something that is living in your living room and that you cut down to make you feel better. So, I got the tree, got a few lights on it, put my Fortnite llama in the tree as an ornament, so had to put that up there. So we did the tree farm thing and got the tree and everything like that. Watch some football and stuff, and then Monday, what did we do Monday? Oh, a little bit of not a sore subject, but so Walter's been having these giant eye boogers lately, and they're like bigger than normal boogers in his eyes. Usually he has eye boogers, but he's a pug, and he started getting these like big ass eye boogers. I mean, they look like they came from my nose, but they're on his eyes. and they're like slimy and stuff like that. So anyways, then he was always like squinting, like squinting wise. And yeah, it looked like he was high all the time. And then his eyes were really red. So long story short, we had to take him to the vet Monday. And he does not like to get his eyes like dropped in and stuff like that. He doesn't like eye drops and stuff like that. So it's kind of funny watching the vet and us try to hold him down because he was fighting. I think he gets that from his mom. But he was fighting the doctor, the vet, and he didn't want his eyes done. But turns out he had double eye infections, and he's doing a lot better now with his eye ointment that he gets every day. And shout out to him because he's losing weight still. He lost another 2 pounds since October. So, a big beefy 38-pound pug is now 32 pounds and looking slim and mean, and he's going to be ready for the beach this summer. My goal for him is to get 28 pounds. I'm not sure what his goal is for his weight, but 28, 29 pounds would be a good goal for him. So he's got a little bit of ways to go, but he's making a lot of progress, and we're proud of him, and we're glad that he is healing and his eyeballs are not damaged. That was just an infection. So if you ever had a dog, it's kind of the little shithead's a money pit sometimes when you take them to the vet. You could easily spend $150, $200 just on a vet visit to get a little bit of ointment. But when it comes down to it, I don't know. I would probably pay quite a bit to keep him alive. So for at least a while longer. I don't want him to die on me yet. But yeah, I can only imagine it's worse when you have kids and you take them to the doctor and you I don't really care what it is. I just want them to be okay. So that's kind of taught me a little bit about myself. If I have kids, I'll probably want to take them to the doctor if they have pink eyes. So that's good. I learned that. What else did we do? Oh, we went on another hike. One that we hadn't done in about 11 months. It was actually our first ever hike after moving to Oregon. It's Silver Falls State Park. And the trail's nicknamed the Trail of 10 Falls or something like that. And it's got a lot of waterfalls. And so we went back to our first place we ever hiked. Did that hike. It was pretty chill on Monday. And got to see some waterfalls and cool things like that. And I'll post them on my personal Instagram here sometime soon. But just some cool waterfalls that you can walk behind, and very easy trail. Even though it's long, it's pretty easy. But just a lot of cool waterfalls. If you're ever in the area and you want the most bang for your buck, you want to see as many waterfalls as you can, head down south of Portland to Silver Falls State Park and get you some of that waterfalls because they're really nice. You can even walk behind them. And it's like you're walking behind a waterfall and the water's in front of you and you're behind it. So it's really cool. Few times through. Yeah, so what else we do? So we went on the hike and kind of hung out. Last night we went with my brother and sister-in-law. We went to the Revolution Hall. It's like a venue in Portland that you go to and see performing acts, and we saw I don't know who found it, but it was the top 5 comedians in Portland voted on by their peers, and they were doing this show. It was a 2-hour show where the top 5 comedians voted on by their peers all did a set of comedy, and it was pretty fun. It was a lot of fun, actually. Some good comedians up there. It's good to laugh a little bit, And man, there's a lot of old people in the crowd, which kind of surprised me a little bit, because I hope that I'm still appreciative of funny stuff when I'm older. And like, because a lot of old people are a little rigid. I don't know, maybe. Or maybe I feel like they can't have fun and like laugh at jokes and stuff like that. So it was good to see some older people there, even if they weren't even laughing or anything like that. I feel like they probably had a good time too. So yeah, it was good to see that. Hopefully when I'm older, I don't lose my sense of humor, which I don't think I will. I still feel like I should be in junior high most of the days. Just faking it as an adult. But yeah, it was good to see that. A lot of funny dudes up there. There wasn't any girl comedians in the top 5, but the guys that were up there were pretty funny. And yeah, definitely need to get out more often. But it's a beast, man. I tell you, it's a beast to go get up, go to work 8 hours or so. I guess I didn't work 8 hours yesterday, but work 8 hours and then come home, eat, and then be gone all night and then get home. It's it's a little bit of a beast. And so shout out to all those people that do stuff on weeknights and work nights and go about their lives that way. I usually like to spend it at home, chilling and stuff like that. So, what else? What else is new? Yeah, work's been going okay. I know you guys probably wondering about that. It's going okay. It's going okay. What else? Oh, there's a bunch of good fights announced too. So Thanksgiving. I think it was Thanksgiving or Black Friday. A bunch of UFC fights were announced. Conor McGregor versus Donald Cowboy Cerrone is one of them, and then Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov, I think is his name. But anyways, those 2 fights were announced, and really excited about those coming up. They're actually coming up pretty soon. I think January and February they're fighting. But yeah, the Khabib Tony Ferguson fight is gonna be awesome. And if you don't watch fights, I'm not gonna get too much into them. I usually try to catch all the good ones, and most of them are good. But man, the Tony Khabib fight is a fight that's been in the works for a long time. It's actually been scheduled before multiple times, but fell through. And they're 2 of the best fighters in their division and in the sport, and both on crazy long winning streaks. So finally you get to see it happen. And the more I think about it, the more I think Tony Ferguson's going to win. I don't know how he's going to do it because no one's ever beaten Khabib. But if there's a guy to do it, I think Tony Ferguson will. Because he doesn't get tired and he can beat you anyway. So I won't get too much into it just because I know not everyone listens to or watches the fights. But man, those 2 fights are going to be good. And then Conor and Cowboy, it's going to be a crazy fight. Yeah, if Conor loses this fight, it's kind of, you're running out of options for fights. Kind of lost your shine a little bit if you lose this one. But I think it's set up pretty good for him to do well. And what was I just thinking about too? Yeah, so the fights are coming up. NBA season's in full swing. Got that Blazers shirt on right now. Melo's on the team. Pretty excited about that. Still going to get to a Blazers game here soon. I think there's actually one this Sunday we might go to or something, but definitely want to. I think the Mavericks play a couple times here in Portland in the next few months. I definitely want to see the Mavericks because my new fave player is the white dude on the Mavericks, Luka Doncic. Yeah, he's pretty good, and he's European, and he's like the next LeBron. So definitely want to try and see him in person when the Mavericks come into Portland. Have to check on the schedule on that one, but yeah, the NBA season, man, I love it. I love it, especially living in a city with an NBA team. Even though I don't watch the games that often, I do keep up with everything that's going on. So it's just cool living somewhere where there's professional leagues and things like that. Not saying that's all I ever want to do, but it's nice to have options and stuff like that. It's kind of like the main attractions in town, you know. What else? What else were we at? We're about 20 minutes right now. Yeah, I don't know. I've still been thinking a lot. A couple episodes ago, I was thinking about what I want to do with my life. And I don't think that ever really changes. I think, I hear other people talk about their 5-year plan or their 2-year plan and things like that. And we've talked about what we want to do in 2 years and 5 years. And honestly, it changes literally every time we talk about it. So I don't know if, what was I talking about? Yeah, like what you want to do with life. I don't think it's ever, I don't think it ever stops, to be honest. I bet, if you're sitting there listening and like, man, I work this job and I'm doing this and that. I wonder if everyone else is thinking like I'm thinking, like, what's next? What do I want to do with my life? Because even if I'm doing something right now, I still want to do something else. If that makes sense. Like, yeah, I went to school and got a job and, am doing okay. But there's always like, all right, now what do I want to do that I did this? Because I can only equate it to like, y'all have that one friend or girlfriend or boyfriend, like the friend, not like the significant other, but you got a friend that can never stay in a relationship long. And can only equate it to this as the old man once said, time to trade her in for a new model. And the people that are always in and out of relationships with different people, like maybe that's me with other things in life where I'm like, what's next? Like, okay, I did that. Okay, now I want to do this, but I still don't know what that is yet. So I feel like that's like some people with relationships, not me, but like people are like, all right, I'm done with this chick or this guy. It was fun while it lasted, but I'm ready to try a different flavor or something like that. So, still don't know what I want to do. But I know if I do something, or if I can find something that I want to do, I'll probably do it. I just haven't thought that hard. One thing I was thinking about is doing the Timberline Trail again, Mount Hood, but doing it in under 24 hours, preferably 12 to 14 hours. So that's like 46 miles of trail hiking or trail running, and I'd like to do it all in under a day. So, but that even doesn't sound like a big enough feat for me, even though I couldn't do it right now. That just seems like a weekend thing, but I need to find something that's a little bit bigger than just one weekend or one day. Because like when you're in school a lot, like when you're in high school and then when you're in college, you're always working towards something. And there's always that like, oh, when I'm done with this, it's going to be different. Or like when I'm done with school, then like that's when life starts. Or when I'm done with school, we can finally do this and we'll have money. But then like when you get done with school and then you do have that stuff, you're like, okay, I'm done with this. Now what's next? And I wonder if other people feel that way. Like people that have jobs that are good and that are, comfortable in life. I wonder if they're like, man, what's next? I don't want to just be collecting paychecks for the next what am I? I'm going to be 36 years. And then that's all I'm doing is collecting paychecks. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm still thinking about it. When I know, I'll let you know. So, other than that, I was thinking like too, while I was at the comedy show yesterday, I was kind of thinking in my head, I was like, why is it okay for me to pay money to see people talk about whatever they want to talk about and not have a filter? Like, I can pay to go see that, but if you try to give that away for free when you're not on a stage, that it's bad. You know what I'm saying? So, like, why? Maybe because it's in a controlled environment, but why is it okay for people to go on stage and say whatever they want? Well, if I were to try to say that, at Hy-Vee or Safeway, to whoever, then it would be considered bad. Even if I was a quote unquote comedian or not a comedian, wouldn't it just be kind of crazy though if everyone did talk that way and no one did have a filter? I wonder if it would be bad or good. I definitely think it would be good in the sense that people would be they'd take life less serious and stuff like that, but it'd probably hurt your feelings too, to be honest, if everyone talked that way and voiced things that way. But then also probably things wouldn't get done either because it'd just be people bickering about stuff, and I mean that already happens, but it's just interesting to think about, like, why can't we be comedians in the real world instead of having to say you're a comedian and then sign up for an open mic or be on a stage in front of a crowd? Why can't you just do that in the real world? And probably it's already been done. Like, if you've seen the shows, the Jackass shows, that's kind of, I don't even know if that's about it. But like South Park, maybe too, the creators were like, I'm doing that right now. Or like Family Guy and stuff like that. But it's something that's interesting to think about. Because if you pay money to go get offended and I feel like that shouldn't be the only place that you can do that. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to go around, and because everyone at a comedy show knows it's comedy, and there's always a few people in the crowd that maybe take it serious or are offended, but for the most part, that when you go to a comedy show that, I'm not going to be offended really by anything they say. I might judge you, but I'm just trying to laugh. And yeah, I think if we took the attitude you have when you pay for a ticket and you walk in to see a comedy show, if we took that attitude and out of the comedy show and just applied it to our daily lives, I think there'd maybe be a lot less stress and stuff going on in our lives that we think is important, or we think is a big deal, than if we took that mentality, then it wouldn't be a big deal or anything like that. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just get jealous sometimes because, you go there and you can listen to someone say that, but if it was outside in the parking lot, it would be considered rude. And just interesting to think about, I guess. So everyone's got to be PC, though. Got to be PC. I don't think that was a rant per se, but it was just a thought. So apologize for my thoughts, but just think about it. It's kind of interesting if you do think about it. Bringing that same the mental space you have when you walk into a comedy show, but bringing that same mental space out into the real world might change your life a little bit. I feel like I have that, but I just will laugh at stuff that's not funny to other people, but at the same time, who knows what I'm talking about at all. What else has been going on? We're at about 30 minutes right now. Might just wrap it up with that. Yeah, I never know. I didn't really know what I was going to talk about. I usually just try and talk about what's been going on, what I've been thinking about, and what's been troubling me. So I'm getting excited for this weekend. Oh yeah, my sister is coming this weekend. She's coming to visit. And my sister's pretty much a bigwig now. I wouldn't tell her that to her face, but if she listens to it, then I'd tell her she's a bigwig. But she's still my sister, and I'm really proud of her and love her a lot. And I'm really happy that she's coming to visit us, because we'll get some sibling nights in, my brother and sister. So I'm really excited about that. It's always fun when you get the fam together. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm sure we'll have something good to talk about after this weekend spending with her. So yeah, looking forward to just going out and doing some stuff and hanging with her. I haven't seen her in a while since we were back in Iowa, and then even before that for a while too. So really excited about that. I just remember that. I'm excited now. So other than that, guys, as always, if you like, subscribe, share a comment, repost it, share it, give me shouts outs, and all that good stuff for the podcast. I'm still looking into getting t-shirts at some time. I just need to buy them, but man, with Cyber Monday, and then some Christmas shopping, we're a little low on the funds. But I want to get some t-shirts made, send them out to some close friends and family, and then see about getting those made up for people if they want them. That would be the next kind of step in this game. I'm gonna try and keep coming out with 1.5 to 2, or no, 1.2 episodes a week, average out. So last week I came out with 2. This week I'll probably come out with 1, maybe 2 maybe 1 on Sunday. Who knows? But as always, guys, keep in the loop. Follow us on Half the Story on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. As always, you can listen on YouTube with the videos. You can listen on SoundCloud if you're into SoundCloud rappers, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcast or iTunes. I think I'm on there as well. So need to get on Spotify though. I need to look into that. There's a lot of things I need to look into, but we'll save that for another day. Other than that, guys, thank you for the support. I will see you later. And think about it though. When you walk into a comedy show, that attitude, let's walk out of that comedy show and bring that attitude to real life. Let me know what you think about that idea or thought. And as always, guys, thanks. I'm out.